Hello, cannedcream here, CC for short, and today I would like to talk to you about names.
By what name are you known?
There are some who call me Tim.
Or to be exact, are pony names clairvoyant? Does a pony's name affect how they develop? For this topic, we'll only be sticking with names that have been spoken aloud during the show and thus have been cemented as canon. We won't be focusing on fan-created names or names that only appear on MLP merchandise. And even though it kinda goes against the rules we've just laid down, we also won't be talking about a certain wall-eyed mare, as her name was cut from the dialogue of the last roundup in the edited version. And for the sake of this video, it's still up in the air if her name is supposed to be Derpy, or Ditzy, or as the merchandise calls her, Muffins. To begin this topic for realsies, there's really only one of three ways this can go. Either pony parents are given some kind of psychic realization of their foal's adult personality and name them accordingly, or a pony's name somehow has tremendous influence over their personality, or it's all just one big coincidence. So, where do we start? Well, I guess from the very beginning. You see, when two ponies love each other very much, they nipple clamps, and then 11 months later, a foal is born. This is when the parents name their new child, and we do know for a fact that it is the parents that name their kids, as evidenced by the cakes.
Having so much fun as we chose Pound and Pumpkin's names.
But could there be some magical outside force that influences the naming choices? Well, let's look at the main six first, and with them I would say no. Out of all of them, only Fluttershy seems to be the most descriptive of their adult personalities and traits. As for the others, Applejack is a family name and has more to do with that than her actual farming skill. And considering she was born and raised on a farm, it's no real surprise she's good at her work. The same pretty much goes for Pinky, as Pie is, again, a family name. And Pinky is really more descriptive of her coat color than any aspect of her personality or skills. Twilight Sparkle doesn't really have anything to do with magic, and when compared to her brother Shining Armor, it seems like two-word names having something to do with glittering light is more of a family theme than anything else. Rarity sounds nice and regal, but doesn't really have anything to do with dressmaking. One could argue that it refers to the gems that she's so good at finding, but considering they're practically everywhere, sitting one shovel's dig underground, pre-cut, in piles, can you really call them rare? Now, Rainbow Dash is much more distinctive, but the rainbow in Dash might be along the same lines as the Pinky in Pie, just referring to color. Now, the dash could mean that precognitive power thing I mentioned before, but the show has given reasonable doubt in baby cakes, with telling us that baby Pegasi can have spouts of erratic flight in their infancy. It's not impossible to imagine Rainbow Dash tearing through her parents' house as a foal, leading her parents to give her the name. But then we get to Fluttershy. And here's where things start getting oddly specific. Flutter links to her below-average flying skill, and Shy describes her strongest personality trait. And neither of these things are really traits her parents could have known about when she was just born. I suppose if you really argued, you could come up with reasons why they could have been, but to me, personally, it just feels like too much of a stretch. And matters become even more muddled when you throw in characters whose names are very specific to their talents or jobs. Characters like Celestia, Luna, Photo Finish, Trenderhoof, or Trixie. They possess names that have to do with things that their parents could not have possibly known about when they were first born. So, is there something more to this? Considering that Equestria is a land overflowing with magic, frankly, I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe it's the same force that creates cutie marks that influences the name of foals. And maybe for the same reason that some unicorns are better at magic than others, and some Pegasi are stronger flyers than others, some families just aren't as in tune with these magical forces. Maybe that's why you can end up with a name that will unveil your entire future, or one that just describes your main color. Frankly, I don't feel like there's enough evidence to say one way or another. As with a lot of things involving MLP's mythos, the best thing to do is really just smile and nod your head. Trying to understand this world is a fool's errand. And I should know, I've dedicated an entire series to it. Now, what about you, dear listener? Do you think there's some special way that parents choose their foals' names? Post your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you very much for watching, and as always,
Stay pony, my friends.